Hey guys, I'm Tiffany and I do Free Tarot Friday at Whyyy Guys. So if we haven't met before, welcome. I'm going to go through the zodiac, Aries all the way through Pisces to answer your questions, to get a pulse for the weekend vibe, just from looking at the tarot cards. So I use the Golden Tarot by Cat Black. And today our clarifying cards, I'm going to use the Astrology Reading card deck. Oh, sorry. So let's just get started. And if you guys have some questions along the way, I'll be able to see the chat box. So if you have some personal questions, we can get to those once we get through the zodiac. And I had a friend recommend that if anybody would like to put a tip in the virtual tip jar for the readings, my Venmo is Tiffany-Harelik. And I appreciate any tips. I know a lot of the readers are doing that on YouTube. So let's clear the deck for Aries and see what the weekend has in store for our Aries friends. Hey Barbie, good to see you. Clear for Aries. Let me get one good shuffle in here. Okay. Ooh, sorry. Clearing the deck for Aries. What do our Aries friends need to hear this weekend? Something that gives them strength or confidence or assurance. Yay! Hi, Elodie. Okay. All right. So Aries, first we get the Page of Wands. So if you guys have been following along, you know that the pages are we usually get them when we're about to receive a message. So the pages of Old Tarot brought messages, right? And so kind of in modern times, I think of this as a text message. I think of it as an email. I think of it as an aha moment or a notion. And so to be in the suit of wands, Aries, it's like you're ready to get in action. You're probably going a little stir crazy. You're ready to do something else and you're just waiting for a message, and it's happening quickly. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get your message today. Hi Steve. Hi Shelton. So for Aries, you know, getting into new action, getting a message about action and getting into it quickly. All right, I know some of you are having some heartache going on and you're changing your perspective, you're changing your mind, you're just ready to do something different about the same old thing. So you're looking at the problem with a new perspective and you're ready to do something about it. So that's great for Aries. The clarifying card here, we haven't used this deck in here before, so it'll be fun. Fun game. They get Virgo. All right, so this is the Virgo energy, is the energy of being grounded, being practical, being analytical. You know, for Aries, usually it's more go, direct, speak before you think type of thing. Virgo, you're going to slow it down a little bit. So next week in astrology, right, the Sun and Mercury go into Taurus, and we all need to be slowing down a little bit, thinking through things longer than we normally would. This isn't about kicking tires. This is about letting life unfold. All right, so Aries, to get the Virgo card, like just make sure you're grounded. We get it. You're ready to do something different. Just wait a little bit and see what more information comes next week. All right, do multiple drafts. You know, if you're writing emails or texts, get somebody else's perspective to look over it, maybe a mentor. Hey, Terry, good to see you guys. So we are on Taurus right now, clearing the deck for Taurus. I'm doing my Tarot 101 webinar after this. Hope to see some of you guys there. Clearing the deck for Taurus. Okay. So the Eight of Swords is what fell out. And the Empress. And the Ten of Cups. All right, Taurus, it's going to be okay. So the Eight of Swords, right, this one is where she's a prisoner of her own making. You know, she's really, nobody's tying her up. She's kind of in her own head, and she just hasn't taken off her, you know, the ropes around her hands or the blindfold around her eyes. That's all in her power to do here. So Taurus, I would say, you know, rise up. We've just had a big Venus-Pluto square. There's been a lot of crazy energy. There's been a lot of people breaking up, making up, stirring the pot, getting emotional. It's been volatile out there, especially this last week, right? So it's like, how can you also slow down? It's about to be your birthday month. Mercury is going to join the sun for you. So just like, let's try to get out of this kind of victim mentality that goes along with this card, because there's good stuff on the way. You've got the Empress, something's in an incubation period, and then you've got the Ten of Cups. This is the happy family card. This is the card of emotional fulfillment and all things good. Okay, so that's a great card to get for our Taurus friends. This is also the card of Venus, the card of the artist. I'm getting a super distracting notification where I can see myself in my video. But so Taurus, you know, when we get this card, it's also a sign of pregnancy. If you're not wanting to get pregnant, I would be aware of that. If you are, great. It's a sign of fertility, planting seeds, starting new projects, letting things cook and grow slowly in the rhythm of nature, right? Taurus is an earth-based sign, all right? So being more natural with your rhythms of life, and just kind of have your pity party and then let it go. You know, don't dwell on it for too long. And then a significator card. It's a little special mojo for our Taurus. Hi, Maura. Good to see you guys. All right, they get the 10th house. So this is the house of career. So Taurus, maybe you have a little focus on your career this weekend. You know, if the 10th house, if you're not in a career or if you're retired, you could look at this as, what does your public standing look like? How does the world see you? What kind of leadership role are you in? What kind of legacy are you wanting to leave? What kind of career do you want to get into? You know, and then as the Sun and Mercury shift into your home sign next week, studying, taking notes, researching companies, researching your own entrepreneurial projects, you know, going slow with this idea of whatever's cooking and incubating in your career. Oh, hi, Michelle. Good to see you on here. I pulled the Pisces card right before I started, and I thought about you, and I love you. All right, clearing the deck for Gemini now. Clearing for Gemini. What do our Gemini friends need to hear for the weekend? Some practical advice we can offer them so that they feel assured they've heard from the cosmic divine. Clearing the deck for Gemini. Can I get a Gemini show of hands? I see at least one of you guys in there. Clearing for Gemini. All right. I just keep going. So this Six of Cups, all right. Gemini, this is a blast from the past, a childhood friend, a brother or sister, somebody that you have a shared past with, that you want to be generous to, that you want to have a conversation with, that you want to reconnect in some ways. So Venus is about to go retrograde, and there's going to be a lot of reconnection happening and revisiting and revising in the department of love. But for you, Gemini, I think this is more like just connecting with people from the block you grew up on, or the community that you came from. This is just a sign of reconnection. And then there's also this message of love. You know, the pages, again, messengers, the cups are the suit of emotional fulfillment, compassion, right? So getting a message, whether that's you parenting yourself, which is what I'm feeling like, Gemini, like you need to not only just take care of business, which you're very, very good at, but you also need to take care of that inner child inside of you, you know, and does he or she trust you to make good decisions as an adult? Does he or she trust you to stop working and get outside and play, you know? You have a lot of options this weekend, and you like that, Gemini. You like having a lot of tabs open. So, you know, choosing what you want to do, I would say spend your time doing a little bit of self-reflection, parenting yourself, and letting yourself off the hook for some stuff so that you can have some time to play too. You know, what's special for you. A clarifying card, I just cut the deck with the moon. So getting in touch with your subconscious intuition. The moon points to how we relate to things because of how our mom or our main caretaker treated us. Okay, so the moon, that's another sign pointing to your own mothering of your own self. Okay, I'm sure there's a great way to edit that. All right, clearing the news deck. All right, let's go. Oh boy. Okay, I see more comments are popping up. All right, yes. Hi, Tracy. It is the Golden Tarot, and I'm also using this astrology deck for the signifier. So after Gemini, who's next? Cancer. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Cassie. Clear for Cancer. All right, clearing for Cancer. Guys, if you're reading on your own at home, I highly recommend getting like an incense stick or some selenite crystal to kind of wave over your deck so that it clears any energies from past readings and that you're fresh. You can also knock on the deck or shuffling changes the energy. Hey, Brooke. Good to see you. All right, guys, we're on Cancer, clearing the deck for Cancer. Oh, this is like a party up in here. It's a good day in Free Tarot Friday. All right, clearing for Cancer. Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands, Queen of Coins, Six of Coins. Okay, so the Ace of Wands, you know, aces are always good omens. They are the beginning of the suit. So it's like starting something new, starting something fresh, right? And so in what department? Wands, action, doing something differently than you would before. Quickly. Like you feel an urgency, you feel the need to take action about something. You're getting stir crazy too. There's some topic that's bothering you that you're ready to go forward on. You're ready to hit send. You know, you're ready to start the key, turn the ignition over. Like that's what that energy feels like. There's a lot of Mars, Yang energy. So you could do that in a lot of ways. You could work out, you know, you could engage in a conversation, right? Yang energy, back and forth. And then we've got the Queen of Coins here. So this is kind of a reminder that you are the master of this whole situation that you're ready to act quickly on. Like you are the cool, confident leader here. The Queen of Coins, this is the gal who really has her shit together. She's got her kitchen perfectly organized. Everybody likes to come over. She has the best recipes. She's grounded, rooted, calm, compassionate. You know, she's been there, done that. She has her own life experience to draw from to be able to help others. So it's like, don't jump the gun too quickly. Just make sure that you're in this position of cool, confident leader. Alrighty. And let's get a, whoa. Oh no, they're all messed up. Only one. Alright, a card of clarification for Cancers. Any Cancers watching or cross-watching for Cancer? Somebody that really needs further clarification. What do they need to hear? Here for Cancer. And they get first house stuff. It says what people see and the impression you give, you know. So the first house I usually teach as ego or a sense of self, you know. So maybe that issue, you're worried about how you look. But I know, Cancer, you're also worried about how you feel too. So this first house stuff is just a reminder that you are a leader. People are watching, you know. And I'm not saying like behave so that other people get la la la. I'm just saying assume the position of that Queen of Coins and that cool, confident leader. Okay. Clear for Cancer, Leo. Clear for Leo. Clearing the deck for Leo. Okay. Leos, we need to say hi to. Elodie likes that reading. Thank you. Anastasia, hi. Paula, hi. Tracy and Barbie, I don't know if you saw these extra deck, it's the Astrology Reading cards is what they're called. They're by Allison Chester Lambert and Richard Crooks. So clearing now for Leo. All right. Clearing for Leo. What do our Leo friends need to hear? I made some homemade chai tea and it smells really good in here. Paul is a Leo astrologer, right on. Oh geez. Okay, well, right off the bat, so the Leos had this set up, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago. The reason I remember is because I got a lot of private readings afterwards that told me, yes, that's accurate, let's go deeper. So here's this heartbreaking situation, something that you can't seem to let go of. You know, something that's really keeping you up at night, something that's really tormenting you. The Three of Swords usually has to do with a heartache, and sometimes it's about your love, your lover, your beloved, but sometimes it's just about something simple like we get heartbroken about small things too. You know, that we have weird triggers, right? Like we have strange incidences that just poof us up into a heartbreak. So Leo, and then here's the Devil card. That's when we really get obsessive about it. In my private readings, it's usually about love and money, but it doesn't have to be. You know, we're doing a general broad stroke reading here. So Leo, to find your way this weekend, this is another message to connect with your childhood friends, the people that have a shared past with you. Maybe you're doing a reunion online. Maybe you call somebody you hadn't talked to in 20 years. This whole Venus retrograde situation in Gemini is going to affect you too, right? So I see you, I hear you, it's been real hard, but let's focus on something positive that gives you a little bit of life back, like a little bit more oxygen in your lungs, okay? And if you can't get out of your funk, if you're in a funk, then be of service, right? This card is also about being generous with your time and talents. So being of service also gets us out of self and the things that we're worried about, right? Okay. Paula, I hope that's helpful. Okay, let's get the clarifying deck. This is the Astrology Reading cards deck. And clarification for our Leos out there. Vesta. All right, it says the goddess within, your sacred spiritual center and quiet dignity. Vesta is the goddess of hearth and home, you know, so maybe a lot of you are already at home, but something that you can do, like to change it up this weekend, change the vibe, light some incense, get a new altar going, just clean your house, you know, give it that new sparkle, clean out the fridge, do something, and invoke Vesta. Say, help me make this house a home, you know. Okay. Oh, thank you, Paula, for that accuracy comment. I always get nervous when it's a toughie. So thank you. She says that's accurate. Appreciate it. All right, clearing for Virgo. Clearing the deck for Virgo. What do our Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising people need to know? Clearing for Virgo. It's trash day in my neighborhood, and the trash guys usually like honk when they drive by and everybody goes nuts. So if you hear that, that's what's going down in Austin. Clearing for Virgo. Okay. Okay, good. So the Ten of Swords means the worst is over. It means, you know, I talked to some Virgos this week that had a tough time. You know, and Virgos in the weeds, man, they can really beat themselves up. They can really, you know, I don't know, that's the best way to put it. So here's Ten of Swords, right? All right, Virgos, the worst is over. All of the 10 swords are in her back. She's been stabbed in the back. There's a black, like, dog panther that's going to eat her corpse, right? Like, this is awful looking. So you don't want to interpret that as, oh, it's bad out there. You want to say, I see that you've gone through a hard time, and let's put an end on that. Let's cap it. The worst is now over, Virgo. So what are we going to focus on instead? Right, so it looks like there's a situation where 3 people are in a relationship, right? You guys have heard me interpret this a lot before. It doesn't have to be where somebody's cheating on somebody. It can be 2 people and a pet. It can be 3 roommates. It can be a young family. You know, it can be 3 sisters. It can be all kinds of things. But this is a card of triangulation, right? So if we're saying the worst is over, we've been triangulated in some way, shape, or form, or we feel that we have, or we are doing that, you know? And then this is the card of justice. So justice is being served. So I would say get out of that sticky tar and just let God do his thing. You know, let the karma police help you out. You don't have to get involved. You don't have to right the wrong. You don't have to be right. You know, you're seeking the way of peace and balance when you get the justice card. So what's most peaceful to you? Clearing for the Virgos. Nellie also liked the Leo reading. Thank you. Okay. Virgos also get the first house. Okay, so this house of ego, impressions, kind of being worried about what people think of you in some ways, how you're shining in the world. You know, this whole situation that we just read about, it's like maybe your light's dampened a little bit. So reminding yourself that people are watching, you're a leader, even in the situations when you shouldn't have to be, you know what I mean? But you're still called to shine your light. You're still called to this leadership role. Okay, and clearing for after Virgo comes Libra. Libra, clearing the deck for Libra. For your noon entertainment on Friday, clearing the deck, getting a clear message for any Libras watching, Libra Sun, Moon. Guys, I have 4 planets in Libra and 4 planets in Scorpio. It's intense. Clear for Libras. The Chariot, the Queen of Coins, the 8 of Wands, the Tower. Alrighty, so let's see, the Chariot. This is when things are moving forward, but it was reversed today, and nothing else has been, so I'm going to go ahead and translate that as things are not moving forward right now. You are maybe wanting to go in this direction, and it's like, we're not doing that, so we're taking a pause and a pivot. This is going to require some leadership and some confidence on your part to not flip out. This is a reminder that things are happening for you, not to you, and to go with the universal flow, you know? The 8 of Wands means it's happening faster than you think. So just the quicker you go with the flow, the faster the result is going to be. It does look like you're kicking down a foundation and starting over in some level. This could be very visceral. You know, it could be the foundation of something you're building physically, but it could be an emotional foundation that was like, oh, that wasn't quite set up in the perfect Libra balance situation. So we want to kind of nip it in the bud, get to the core of the issue, and reboot, basically. That's what I'm looking at here, like a reboot for our Libras. And then a sign of clarity. We get the Sun. It says your immortal spirit, purpose, and destiny is involved. No big deal, just your destiny, right? Just shine your brightest lights. All right, clearing now for who's after Libra? 7, 8, Scorpio. Hi, Maura. Hi, Alyssa. Thank you for loving this. Appreciate it. Oh, okay. Jumper for Scorpio. 2 jumpers for Scorpio. Don't worry, we're not stopping there. The Sun, the Devil. Ah, very similar to Leo. So this is a card of giving it a rest. This is a fight not worth having because nobody wins. You've already said what you need to say. It's time to just pull the plug and pause. And also, this is another reboot situation, Scorpio. You've got the Sun, you're trying to shine your highest light, but then you've got the Devil and the 3 of Swords. So this like heartache is just tormenting you, and it affects everything you're thinking about, and you're having a hard time shining because you're over here in freak out land, right? This is freak out land. This combo sucks. I'm gonna make sure I get them completely shuffled. Look, I'm doing it now. Because you feel like it's you against the world. Not against the world, but you feel all alone. You know, you feel like you're working so hard and that you don't have a lot of the support. All right, so a little more clarity for Scorpios here. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Christy. Hi, Miss Holloway. And then, all right, King of Swords and the 7 of Coins. So we're just changing our perspectives as a Scorpio nation. And it takes a lot of work. You know, Scorpios, they take you down into the underworld. They go down into the underworld to come out as the phoenix in the flames. So it takes us sometimes a long, hard road to learn lessons, and then we come out on the other side different. It's a very shamanic type of life. Dark nights of the ego. All right, we're getting a card of clarification for Scorp. We got Gemini. Why? Some of my close friends are Geminis. I love the Gemini energy. It says this energy is communicative, mischievous, lively, witty, and informative. Stimulating exchange is possible. So Scorpios that feel like overwhelmed or with like that energy is super intense for you right now, just know that you can exchange some ideas, right? Communication is key here. and remain open-minded to a new possibility. Christy says she put herself out there and now she's got dead silence. Yeah, well, let some time change. This Venus retrograde thing is no joke. I know there's a lot of heavier planets in the sky we could be like nerding out about, and a lot of astrologers are. But Sasha from Astrology Mothership and I took a deep dive into the Venus retrograde cycle, and we found some curious things, guys. So if you're having issues with love or money, the Venus retrograde article is at wiseskies.advice.com. It's called Venus, Not All Hugs and Kisses. And we've got a great survival guide that's only $8. And what we did was we broke it down by sign. And I think you'll love it. It was a lot of fun to create. So if you're having issues around love and money, any signs washing, then that's kind of my advice. There's also a podcast you can listen to if you don't want to like scroll and read. All right, clearing now for Sag. Let's get some info for our Sagittarius. For our Sag friends, what's going on for them? What do they need to hear this weekend? All right. Keep peeking. Okay, can't stop. Did I do this? Did I do these for Scorpio? I don't think I did. Sorry. Back up, universe. Let's get Scorpio a clarification card. The 7th house. So we're talking about relationship, your significant other, your significant relationship, the long-term partners, the romantic ones, right? Okay. All right. Now we're on Sag. So Sag, the first card that fell out was the Hierophant. This is the marriage card. Sometimes, like other astrologers, other tarot readers will interpret this as working for the man, the job, the corporation, the institution, something that you're tied to. So when I was taught tarot, it's like, well, that's really kind of the marriage card. So it's not like being tied or committed is a bad thing, right? We don't have a connotation about it, but you could look at it both ways. So you could look at it as the thing that you're rooted to, that you're anchored to, that you're committed to. Often for me, it has to do with marriage, but some people it applies more in the realm of job. I'm leaning in the job way because the very next card is the 8 of Coins. This is kind of back to the drawing board. All right, you can see that he's working, he's like tooling leather or something. He's doing something kind of basic, okay? And why I say that is like he's not working on his life's greatest mission, right? He's like back to the basics, just chopping wood and carrying water, doing what he knows how to do. He's not off on some grandiose adventure. Now, there's actually a lot of options here for him or her, Sagittarius land. You know, so what you're committed to in terms of work, you actually have a lot of options so that it can kind of be like squirrel, I don't know, where do I go? What do I do? Right? So what do we do? And it's actually quite tormenting. Like here's the devil card for the 3rd time, right? And this is when it's like, it's kind of getting old. Like you're kind of wearing yourself out thinking of all the different options. And this is going to hit people differently. Like people are going to feel this reading differently, right? It's not going to be 100% for 100% of the people watching. But it looks like we've got a lot of options with our job that just feel kind of boring and mundane. And so it's kind of driving us nuts. So what do we do about it? We tap into this King of Cups and this Strength card energy. And so this means just slowing down. You know, using your intuition, using your greatest compassion. Sorry, I'm real backwards on here. The King of Cups. This is the wise, the most wise heart, wise soul. The wisdom of the heart prevails. So, at all costs, do what feels good in your heart. I was reading up about the Heart Math Institute. And, you know, like all the scientists, they've been involved for years, right? But back in the early 90s, they determined that the heart actually is its own brain, like has, 40,000 neurons of its own. So there's this brain, there's the heart brain, and there's the gut brain. And so this King of Cups, it's like, tap into this wisdom, the heart wisdom, because it really does know. You know, and you can get yourself out of this, like, cyclical thinking pretty quickly, actually, if you just go with the heart, you know. Clearing for Jenny says, Tiff, Sag is on point. Thank you, Jenny. Let's get you a clarification card Yahaira says, thanks for the Taurus reading. Thank you, guys. All right, clarification for Sag. What's some good advice, some direction, some clarity? The 12th house. All right, so this is the area of your life that feels overwhelming. This is when you feel like you've got to yield to a greater cause or power, and in this case, it's going to be your own heart. So stepping out of the realm of what you think you're supposed to do and just doing what you really want to, and that's going to be good for that one, I think. After Sag, we've got Capricorn, so let's clear for Cap. Hi, Rachel. Good to see you in here. Clearing for Capricorn. I almost used my Rider-Waite deck today, and I just couldn't. I'm so attached to this deck. Clearing for Cap. What do our Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising need to know? You're welcome, Jan. Brooke says she's a Capricorn. I just dropped some. Be right back. Alright, we've got, what the hell? Guys, we can't all get the double card. Alright, Capricorn, you got a case of the meh. This 4 of Cups, she's got 3 full cups, and she's on the ground. She has what she needs. Even the angel of God is making an offer to her, and she's sitting here like this, not that. I don't want that. No, thank you. Doesn't look like what I had in mind, right? So this kind of idea of boredom and is dejection a word? Reflection? I don't know. She doesn't want what's coming at her, right? So here's this 5 of coins, and it's also kind of freak out time because money's going out the window, and so it's hard because whatever is coming at you, you don't want, but you see the money going out, so you're feeling like you have to make a sacrifice at some level, and that's probably what this double card is about for you guys. So Capricorn, if you're going crazy in the money department, in the department of feeling safe and secure and grounded, then, we see you, we hear you. What do you need to do about it? Get this card for you guys a lot. This is about shining and being the star of your own life, becoming the director instead of the actor in some ways. That's kind of dangerous advice, right? Because really, God, the Supreme One being, is our director. So yielding to that director, but also just assuming a different role in your life. You know what I mean? Shining a little bit more. Not being but being here I am. And then visualize how you want the day to go. This isn't a way to control or manipulate. This is I'm curious how good it can get. You know what I mean? And be open to the possibility of it going well. This is another card of just kind of feeling like you got the short end of the stick. And so it's easy to be down sometimes with this super hectic, intense energy. So what's your North Star? Focus on it. Don't give up. All right, yeah, leveling up. That's a good way of putting it, Paula. Rise up was the astrology post I wrote today. Clearing for a message for Capricorns. Did I forget Sag on this? Oh, Chiron, yay! So Chiron was the first centaur, and I wrote a really in-depth article about Chiron on Wise Skies on the blog if you want to check it out. He was the first centaur, and Chiron is known as the wounded healer, right? All the other centaurs were super jockey and athletic and, football players, and Chiron was on the mountain learning medicine from his wise mentor, right? And so he didn't fit in, and so he felt isolated. So there's a form of isolation where we feel small, vulnerable, hurt emotionally, sometimes physically, So Capricorn, some of your old pains are coming up for review, and those exact wounds are the very medicine that you were intended to receive so that you could also help others in that very same path, okay? So stepping out of the wounded one and into the healer role is what I would say for you. It says your healing power, empathy, and ability to teach or learn remedies. Capricorns are pretty magical creatures, It's a cool card. So after, yay, Barbie's a Cap. Hi, Tanya, good to see you in here. All right, we are on Aquarius, so let's clear the deck for Aquarius. Coming to the end of our episode here. Guys, I wanted to quickly promote the Wise Skies workbook. It's on sale for the rest of the year, so it's a great time to get it. If you haven't seen it yet, we go through day by day. This is your playbook with notes. It tells you what's going on. Okay, the moon enters Sag. That's weird. I turned to like today. Sun square Pluto. We just had Mercury conjunct Chiron. Yeah. Venus semi-square Jupiter. It says makeup or breakup for April 17th. Mixed signals, overshares, and awkward situations are possible. Someone blowing something out of proportion, or oppositely not paying enough attention. So that's the kind of daily advice you can get in here. Plus there's fun numerology and power days, and you just get all the goodies. So just wanted to promote that before we get totally done. And again, if anybody wants to do a virtual tip, I'm Venmo at Tiffany-Harelik. I'll put that in the comments. So clearing for Aquarius. Aquarius, love you guys. What kind of advice do they need to hear, the Aquarius, this weekend? Clear for Aquarius. Clearing for Aquarius. Tracy says she's got Cat Moon and Rising, and she was actually sitting there with her arms crossed like that. That's funny. Nice. All right. Barbie may be stepping into her healer role with all of her remedies, but it's good. Yes, yay. Thank you, Paula, for the kind comment there. All right, we're feeling good about Aquarius. If you guys have your personal questions that you want to type in, this would be a good time so that I see them by the time I'm done with Pisces. Clearing for Aquarius. Well, that's basically the same reading as Sag. So what we're committed to, what we're anchored into, work. All right, so this is about chopping wood and carrying water. Aquarius, you have so many great big ideas. You know, you are connected to the pulse of the cosmic consciousness. You are networked beyond networked. You know, you are involved in so many pools of energy in fascinating ways, right? You have the gift to shift the frequencies, you know, of the collective, of the people, right? So this doesn't feel super natural. This is not your natural state to just get committed and work solidly on a project that isn't like zoom, 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 blow it up. You know, it's like just chop wood and carry water, Aquarius. Maybe you two can pull some inspiration or work on some art, something, you know, with somebody from your past, somebody that has a shared history with you. And then here's this Four of Wands. So this is the card we pulled for April, right? This is about finding stability within mobility. So this is like riding the surfboard and watching the waves crash around you. You know, Aquarius, just chop wood, carry water, keep it basic. Nothing too crazy. Stay on your surfboard. Stay in your own hula hoop. All right. Clearing. The gift to shift sounds like a good name. Yeah, it is. It's a good business name. All right. Clearing for, who did we just do? Aquarius, their clarification card. To get the 6th house. So the 6th house is about health, vocation, service. It says the work, health, and duty area of your life. Duty is a good way to put that too. All right, Aquarius. So in your work and your health, you're going to get stable. You're going to get normalized. Maybe you start a yoga routine that you kind of stick with. Maybe you sit down for a 15-minute meditation that you stick with. But this is like grounding yourself in a basic, easy approach. You know that quote, like, is it Chanel? I don't know. I don't really know the fashion world, but who is it that says like, oh, if you put on 2 earrings and your necklace and your rings, it's like put it all on and then just take one thing off. So that's kind of like the energy for you, Aquarius, this weekend. Like, you want to do it all, so just take one thing off. Just dial it back a notch so that you can get a firm foundation going. Okay, Letitia, I wondered if you were here. All right. So clearing for, Pisces. We made it to the end of the deck. Gonna have a sip of my chai. Y'all, look at this cute coffee mug from Wheatsville. Don't you love it? Don't you want to drink chai all day? They didn't pay me to say that. I just love it because it's cute. Paula suggests minimalism. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yay, Michelle hung in there for Pisces. All right. Clearing the deck for Pisces, the most patient of our zodiac friends. It's a clear message for Pisces that they need to hear this weekend. Some practical advice or guidance where they feel like the cosmic connection has blessed them. Clearing for Pisces. Okay, we're there. The Emperor, the Knight of Swords, Death and Strength, and the Two of Coins. The Wheel of Fortune. Sorry, I gave you guys a little bit of a longer one. So I think the thing that's most significant that stands out to me right here is this Two of Coins. It's like you, and this next to the Strength card, next to the Death card. Like you have had one way of life completely end, and it's taking all you got to pull it together, and you're feeling stretched. Like, see how he's feeling stretched in two directions? So maybe this is about work. Maybe you've got two jobs. Maybe some of you are homeschooling and trying to hold down the fort at work. You're just feeling this like energy that's throwing you off balance. Something ended, and it made you, it forced you into this role of feeling pulled in two different directions. Also, I've got this Knight of Swords and Emperor energy here, which is kind of weird. So it's not very Piscean at all. The Knight of Swords, so this might not be you. It might be someone affecting your life, or it might be an attitude that you just had that you need to like hit the rewind button and cancel, clear, delete, sage that shit, you know? Because the Knight of Swords, this is somebody who's rushed in and kind of made a mess of things. Like they have come in hot and fast, and maybe they said something they didn't mean, or maybe they didn't even realize what they said was hurtful. So this is not very Piscean. But if you have done that, know that it's because you're stressed. You know, a whole way of life has ended, and you're starting something new, and it's taking all you got. You know, it's taking all you got. So being patient with yourself, being pulled in these two new directions, it's time for you to take a risk. It's time for you to take a leap of faith. It doesn't mean that it's going to turn out perfect. It means like what we're doing, we got to change it up, roll the dice, and see what we got. Let's do something new here. It's actually a very loving thing for you to do. So similar to the reading, who was that I told to work on their inner child? Like your inner child might not be trusting you right now to make decisions because you're feeling this pull. So do what's best for that person. You know, going back through, like taking a meditation, going back through your earliest memories, and just saying, I choose you above all else, and go to the next year, the next happy birthday. Maybe you start at 3, and then you go to 4, and then you go to 5. I choose you above all else, and just connecting with your higher self until you're not feeling pulled and scattered, but you're feeling centered with that heart-mind alignment. So I started to like banter about heart math, and I didn't finish it. Basically, there was 3 things that they identified that immediately aligned your heart-brain coherence. The first one is just gratitude. Simply finding something to be grateful for aligns the coherence between the head and the heart. Shocking. I mean, like real science, not like Tiffany woo-woo shit. Like, I can't remember the other 2. You'll have to take my yoga class. Let's see. You want to see my flow? Appreciation, non-judgment, and forgiveness. All right. So non-judgment is being neutral, becoming the observer, becoming the witness, and then trying to think, like, who is this witness anyways? What form of consciousness is this? And then forgiveness. You know, the Buddha taught us that anger, holding on to anger, is like holding on to a hot rock, hot lava rock. Throwing it, is like you want to throw it at somebody else, but you're the only one that it hurts, right? So forgiveness immediately aligns the heart and brain. Hopefully that'll help some Pisces. Forgiving yourself sometimes, letting yourself off the hook. All right, and what's a little card to give them extra magic? Vesta. They also got the Vesta card. I just love her. This is a super sexy rendition of Vesta. I don't visualize her like that when I think of her. She's the goddess of hearth and home. You know, so doing something that makes your home feel like a place you want to run to instead of away from, right? So Pisces is a sign that is known for escapism, also great compassion. So how can we blend those two things into be something helpful, healthy? I don't know. But basically make your home an oasis, you know, take your saltwater baths, get some new plants, make a beautiful meditation place, call on Vesta to help you re-energize your home to be a place that feels like you can be harmonized and uplifted instead of drained and pulled in two directions. You can easily reset this energy. You can change the numerology of your home. You can do wave some sage around, you know, you can ring some bells. You can clean one drawer out, just one drawer, and it'll change the frequency of your house, you know. Okay, Tracy, the class is today, so you're freaking me out. Hopefully I don't have a wrong date somewhere. And Letitia, thank you for watching. She says it's helpful for all of us. If we're going to get just one general reading for anybody watching that didn't feel heard, it's going to be the Queen of Coins in the 12th house. All right. Becoming the cool, confident leader of your life. Having your shit together. Stop responding or stop reacting and start responding. Realizing that things are happening to you, not for you. And that everything comes at you as great medicine, as a blessing, right? As an opportunity to rise to the occasion. You know, even if things feel overwhelming or powerful or hidden, knowing that you can change the energy at any moment. Okay, guys. So I appreciate you tuning in with me. If you can pay it forward out there in the world, do something good for somebody else. That makes my day, you know. So if you need the forecast or the podcast, it's at wiseskiesadvice.com. You can also visit my website, tiffanyharelik.com. And until next week, namaste. Thank you so much for being here. You made my morning.